SpaceX launched the first 60 satellites of its Starlink network last week. Hi, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to share with you some big news from the world of space-based internet. Last week, in a pretty dramatic fashion, SpaceX launched the first production satellites for its Starlink mobile broadband network, and they actually launched 60 satellites at once, which was a big surprise. Now, what is Starlink is kind of the first thing, and Starlink is going to be a big global broadband satellite network that will eventually, it's been licensed to consist of nearly 12,000 satellites. This is a low Earth orbit network that's being pushed out by SpaceX to deliver affordable broadband, low latency internet to everyone on Earth, every spot on Earth. So a hugely ambitious undertaking, and if all goes according to plan, SpaceX is claiming within a year and a half or 2 years, they will have more Starlink satellites in orbit than all other satellites combined. So crazy big undertaking, and the only way this is possible is if you're able to launch 60 satellites at once. But even at 60 at a time, when are we going to get Starlink? How long is this going to take to deploy this? When will we be able to buy service and get broadband everywhere? And, well, will it work for mobile users? So Starlink, SpaceX has revealed that it's going to take 7 total launches of 60 satellites each before they can have what they consider minor coverage over some parts of the world. That'll take probably sometime until well into next year, if that. Then it will take an additional 6 launches, so 13 total, before they'll be able to cover most of the continental USA. So it's still a ways to go before Starlink becomes a commercial venture that will matter to US consumers and US RVers and cruisers. And it'll take 24 launches to cover most of the world, and close to 1,800 satellites total, 30 launches before they can have truly global coverage. So this is a massive undertaking to put so much hardware into space. But once it is there, SpaceX is planning on being able to offer broadband speeds to anyone, anywhere, with, instead of geosynchronous satellites, which have about 500 to 1,000 milliseconds of latency, 20 to 30 milliseconds of latency. So it's basically cellular speeds and equivalent anywhere. Very, very exciting. But what does anywhere mean? What is it going to take to get a Starlink signal? And this is also news. SpaceX, for the first time, talked about what the ground terminal is going to be like, the receiver. What do you need to get a Starlink signal? And they're saying it's going to be an antenna about the size of a small to medium pizza box. And unlike most satellite antennas, most traditional satellite antennas, it does not need to be aimed. So as long as you stick this up on your roof with some rough view of the sky, it will be able to lock onto the Starlink satellites. And because the Starlink satellites are in constant motion, it is able to track them and switch between satellites within a millisecond, so you won't even have any interruptions as you're in motion and satellites are changing what's overhead. The other big question is people have been wondering is this satellite system is going to be only for people in fixed locations, or will it work for boats and RVs and vehicles? And Elon Musk, in a press conference last week, said yes, this will be for vehicles, cars, boats, planes. It will work in motion. Starlink will be for all of this. Cool. How much is it going to cost? What are the details? When can you sign up? Way too early to talk about that. SpaceX got their first 60 satellites up. They didn't even know if they were going to work. This was kind of a half test, half production launch. And they still want to get several more rounds of satellites launched so they can start testing, improving the network, and signing up partners and figuring out what future plans and prices are going to be. But it is really exciting to see this whole kind of wave of next generation satellite broadband coming. SpaceX isn't the only company working towards this. OneWeb is also building a massive constellation. They've had their first test/production launch with 6 satellites, and later this year they're going to be starting 36 satellites at once per launch. And Amazon just recently announced their Project Cooper, which is going to build on also a huge, gigantic global broadband satellite network. So a lot of competing new efforts coming in the satellite internet world. Competition is good. We still got a ways to go before the details and the realities here, but it's all happening. So exciting news in space internet.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.